Miller's Edge with Christian Miller, two-time national champion and team captain for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and former Carolina Panther, and his father, Corey Miller, the pastor of pain, a 9-year NFL veteran with the New York Giants and University of South Carolina Hall of Famer. This is the Miller's Edge.
And welcome into this Tuesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope you guys had a great Memorial Day weekend. I know it's a little stormy outside, was this weekend, but hope you guys enjoyed the rest, enjoyed the time off. You probably can hear it. Got a little bit of a cold, some allergies going on, so bear with me. But I will say, Chase, I did enjoy my weekend. I did clean a lot. Yesterday, I did go bowling. I don't know if you're a big bowler, Chase, but out of 3 games, I won 1, could have won 2. Literally, it came down to my last bowl. I had to hit a spare, man. All I had to do was literally, I had 1 pin, and if I would have hit that 1 pin, I would have won that game, but I didn't. So we could play woulda, coulda, shoulda, but we don't do that. So I did find a way to come back in the 3rd game and win. So I'll take that. Got at least 1 dub. You know what's crazy, man? When you're a former athlete, or really just probably a competitive person in general, it never leaves you, man. So even when I'm having fun or supposed to be just chilling, having fun, bowling, I take it serious, man. I want to win. But I will say the good thing is I'm not like one of those people that are so competitive that like you can't do anything fun because you get so angry, if you're not winning. I'm not like that, but I do try to win, even when it's just a fun little contest, right? You guys heard me talk about even playing pop stroke, right? I'm always trying to compete. So yesterday I was 1 of 3, but I'll take 1. I got 1 win. Chase, are you a big bowler? I don't know if I've ever asked you that.
I used to be, and then I noticed that Wii Sports may be my calling, so I just stick to that right there.
Dude, you talk about an addiction, right? Like Wii Sports back in the day, at least when I was younger, man, like, oh my God. So I grew up in, apartment complexes, man. All the kids from our apartment complex, it's one family, where I was a brother and a sister named Jay and Jesse, and they had like a Wii, and they had Wii Sports, and we used to always be at their house playing that damn bowling game. I mean, like, golly, man, talk about core memories. I'm not the best bowler in real life. It's like I'm all right. You know what I mean? I would say I don't do the the fancy spin. I'm really simple, just trying to go straight down the middle. But I would say average score for me would be about 130. Yesterday I went 141. What was the second score? I think it was like right around 130. And the last game I went 139. So I would say about like 130-ish is about my average. I don't know if that's considered pretty. I think that's pretty good though. I mean, I average, a couple strikes a game and a couple spares, but I don't know. It's fun though. I know my stepdad used to do it all the time, man. And we used to go on base. He was in the Army. We used to go on base and go play a lot, but I never was like the expert. But anyway, I did do that, so that was cool. But I don't know. Maybe one of these days, Chase, man, I'll take you up there. I'll challenge you to a nice game, man. It was Bolero, which is right up the road. It's a pretty cool place. But maybe we'll take our talents over there and have a little competition. In terms of what we got on the table for today, some interesting stuff going on, Chase. You've got the SEC spring meetings taking place down in Destin. Greg Sankey spoke to the press and had a lot to say. Obviously, the big topic with him is the whole playoff picture, how things are going to look moving forward. I mean, we've been hearing a lot about potential expansions. We've been hearing a lot about automatic qualifiers from the SEC, Big Ten, all that stuff. We all know that the power for the future of this stuff really is, lying in the hands of Greg Sankey and the Big Ten, really the SEC and the Big Ten. We know we're the big players here. And so a lot of people had a lot of questions for Greg Sankey. What we're going to do is, again, so I can try to rest my voice a little bit, right? we got that whole press conference. Now it is like 45 minutes long, so I'm not gonna lie to you. We're gonna try to listen to most of it. Now we can always break it up if you guys, want to talk about something or you want to interrupt it. Please feel free. But we're probably going to do that. Plus, we will talk a little bit about Ryan Williams, some exciting stuff developing with him. Kalen DeBoer, I believe, also is speaking, so we'll probably try to dive into that, see if we can get that clip pulled up, see what he had to say as well. I'm seeing Brett McMurphy tweet right now with him being quoted, so I'm assuming he's already speaking or something. So we'll dive into that if we can. Plus, we always want to talk with you guys again. 205-342-9904 is the number. I think Pat's already on the phone line, so what we'll do is before we jump into that pretty lengthy press conference of Greg Sankey, we'll go ahead and talk with Pat. But again, please, even though we're playing an interview, if you guys want to jump in, you got a question, whatever, you guys know the drill. Call us, drop an app message on the app inbox, or here on YouTube where we are streaming live as well. Again, shout out to everybody that has been attending our YouTube. Should I say attending, Chase? Because I've been watching this whole Streamer University. I don't know if you have you seen that? Do you know what I'm talking about? Kai Cenat Streamer University. Are you familiar with that?
I am for sure. What that is a crazy thing down on Twitch. My gosh.
Should we try to next time they do it? Should we submit an application for the Miller's Edge to attend Streamer University? I know we don't stream on Twitch. Wouldn't be a problem just to throw a Twitch channel up. Maybe we need to get accepted into Streamer University. Now, all the shenanigans that was going on, obviously we don't have time for all that. But it seemed like a really good way to get out there and get some exposure, man. I will say one guy that was actually taking it serious, his name's Agent. He was actually teaching classes on how all that stuff works with their ad revenue and all the CPM that they get and all the stuff goes in and out of streaming and stuff. I was blown away, man. I mean, the numbers he was talking about, insane. But it was really cool to kind of get a glimpse and all that. The rest of it, I don't think was very serious. I think he was like the only one taking it serious, but definitely was entertaining. That being said, we do have to hit a timeout. Schedule for what's coming up. We're going to go to the phone lines, 205-342-9904. We got our buddy Pat on the line, so we'll talk with him, see what he's got on his mind on this thunderous Tuesday, at least down here where we're at. Then we'll hear from Greg Sankey, get some updates on some really big developments with college football playoffs, expansion, all that stuff, outlook for the SEC. Plus, we'll dive into a little bit of what Coach DeBoer has to say, and we'll talk a couple other things that are coming up. Again, Ryan Williams had a really big announcement, and so we'll talk about that as well. All that coming up here on the Miller's Edge, Top 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's art sport experts. You can see their site right here on the live stream, goodfeet.com. But in person, go check out the Good Feet Store right there off of McFarland Boulevard. They're located in Midtown Village, the big shopping plaza in Tuscaloosa. You can't beat it. If you've been dealing with any type of pain, whether it's foot pain, knee pain, back pain, hip pain, you name it, just head on over to the Good Feet Store. They'll take great care of you. First-class customer service that they have for you. When you go in there, they'll explain the whole three-step process, how it's clinically proven to eliminate and alleviate all that pain in just 4 short weeks. I'm telling you guys, if you guys have been looking for a solution to that pain, look no further, man. It's try before you buy, nothing to lose. You literally just pop these arch sports in your shoes and they get to work immediately. And again, 4 weeks, they will take care of all that pain. So make sure you check them out. Again, goodfeet.com is a website. You can find more information there. You can find the nearest location they are nationwide. Other locations in Alabama. You got Birmingham. You got South Alabama, a new store that opened up down there. Don't miss out, guys. Again, a personalized system for you that is going to take out all that pain, whether it's foot pain, knee pain, or back pain, all with those premium art sports. Make sure you check out the Good Feet Store. Again, that is the Good Feet Store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. Quick timeout. We're just getting started right here on the Miller's Edge, Tie 100.9, 1230 WTBC live on YouTube. We'll be right back.
Don't buy your new or pre-owned Mercedes-Benz from anywhere other than...
Justin, what's up? Michael, what's going on, man? Roll Tide. Roll Tide, guys. Welcome in. Sorry, I got a little bit of a cold, man. So if I sound a little congested, that's why. I got my tea, though. We're ready to roll. We are ready to roll. How's everybody's Memorial Day weekend? Good? Let's see what else we have here. Save that. See if I can find Kayla DeBoer speaking. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you're not. Again, Monday through Friday, we do this 11 to 1 live here on YouTube, but obviously Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC is where we're live from via radio. Let me share this with our ex. What's up, Southern? Oh yeah, mine was good. I mean, same old. Clean the house every weekend. That's my thing. Clean the house. When you have dogs, man, you don't have a choice but to be on cleaning duty. Your Kenji's in here. All right, I see everybody. Dang, you woke up feeling a little sick too. Dang. Yeah, I feel like I don't know if it's that time of year, but I feel like everybody's kind of been a little under the weather. At least everybody I know, I feel like is kind of feel like that. Like I said, God is good though. I mean, I feel fine. I just getting chest. It's just a cold, man. But it's just frustrating when you got to talk for 2 hours. It's not fun, obviously, when you're sniffling, runny nose. That's why we're probably gonna let this Greg Sankey interview play a while. So again, bear with us. But like I said earlier, if y'all got any questions or anything y'all want to interrupt it, man, drop that for us. We'll hit pause and we'll divert for a second. But yeah, Southern, everything was good. How was your Memorial Day weekend? How do you think Ty's going to do this season? Mike, I think he's going to do great, honestly. I'm not just saying that. I do think he's going to have a really good season. I mean, obviously, you guys have heard Coach DeBoer talk about that group. I mean, not perfect. Still got, ways to go as expected. But I think he's going to be in good shape, man. I mean, look, as a quarterback, you don't do it by yourself. You got to have the help of others. And the good news is he's got what looks to be a really, really strong supporting cast. Now, obviously, the offensive line is the biggest key for me. Even if you're talking about Ty's performance, I mean, I think the keys, excuse me, in their hands. Receivers, I feel good with. The offensive line can improve their play. I think Ty's going to have a great year. I really do. Plus, it makes me feel better knowing that
round the high 80.
You got Grubb back. Obviously, that's a big addition.
It's 70 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Talking Tuesday edition. Chase, I forgot it's a Talking Tuesday, man. How could I know I forgot because the schedule's all flipped around. We weren't live yesterday. So this is a Talking Tuesday. Again, that does mean we are open, wide open, the whole way. So again, 205-342-9904 is the number. We do plan on listening to that Greg Sankey interview. But again, Talking Tuesday means you guys are the co-hosts. You guys want to chime in, jump in on the conversation. We'll shut the interview off and we'll go to you guys. So we're actually going to do that. We're going to shut me off from talking because we're going to go to Pat. 205-342-9904 is the number. Pat, welcome in, man. How was your Memorial Day weekend?
Oh, just absolutely fabulous. I cooked a few ribs there, some corn in the microwave. That corn in the husk in the microwave, 3.5 minutes. That's the way to go. Salt and pepper and real butter. Oh my goodness! And it was a sweeted Rocky Chief, Christian. I kid you not.
Dang, you're making me hungry, Pat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That corn on the cob. That's a kind of a Memorial Day deal. That's as much as a hot dog is. But anyway, what I called about is this recruiting weekend we got coming up. And the recruits that are coming in on their own dime. Jet Amala. He went to the Elite 11 in Nashville and shined enough in order to punch his ticket to the Elite 11 finals. And, man, this is almost how do you say, deja vu of what happened last year. That whenever our quarterback came out of the obscurity to the national scene and won the Elite 11 and signed with Alabama. Wow. But hey, and look, and I'm going to step out on a limb. I'm going to go ahead because my buddy Drew Dorman, I talked to him this morning, and Drew calls them T-shirt All-Americans at the Elite 11. Well, as you know, picking a quarterback is the hardest thing the NFL does in evaluating quarterbacks. Is that not about right?
No, I do think they definitely probably have a tough time evaluating cornerbacks. So I'd imagine it would probably be that same way at the college ranks trying to do it with high schoolers. Probably even a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, and because that you got some people say that out in Oklahoma that he's throwing against air. Well, at the Elite 11, he's going to be throwing against air. You don't throw nearly 3,700 yards as a junior and not be pretty darn good. I mean, you could be throwing against air and not be able to complete that many yards. But, so, and against only 3 interceptions. But, so I'm excited about having him on campus this weekend and showing him that we have a fantastic mousetrap here in Tuscaloosa, and that that we just got that it just means more here. That and get him switched over from Iowa State to the University of Alabama. And I saw where that the quarterback out of Jackson, Alabama, just punched his ticket to the Elite 11 also in one Ducksworth. But some people don't think that Lane's going to get him. I think Lane's going to get him. That other people saying he's going to be at Florida State. What do you think?
I'll be honest, man. I don't know much about him, so and I would be lying if I gave you an answer that that I really knew much about. I do know with recruiting nowadays, man, it's hard to really really pinpoint. Hey, I feel like this guy's leaning here because. I'm gonna be honest with you, Pat. I mean, it really depends on the recruit and kind of what his intentions are, what his priorities are, right? I mean, because nowadays, I mean, a guy could literally, you might say, oh, well, he's from the Southeast, he's got a great relationship with this coach. They offered him early, but I'll be honest with you, Pat. With NIL and the way everything else goes nowadays, I mean, it all it takes is for a school to come with a big offer. So I don't know where these guys are going to end up, man, because I don't know who's willing to drop a bag on them.
Being committed doesn't mean anything. All that's got to change. Something's got to give on this stuff for sure. Like we got to go, and I hate it, and I would guess it's probably going to be. Do you not think that we've got to have caps as far as what players can be paid? If you don't, I mean, I coined a phrase when all this started to happen. I called it the Wild Wild West and the Beast from the East as far as the Southeastern Conference goes, and that's about as well as you can put it. But I mean, when you got unlimited funds, like say Yellowwood or better yet, Michigan up there, when that lady's husband owns Oracle. I mean, owns Oracle. Hey, we're talking about maybe the 3rd richest person in the world, not just the United States. Or you go over to Arkansas, and if they decide to turn loose of the money with John Tyson, Fayard Trucking Lines, and dare to say Jimmy Jones, hey, I mean, if Arkansas actually decided to buy a team, is there any stopping them?
At this point in time, not really. I mean, and that's to answer your question, though, in terms of a cap, I think the biggest thing is you just need to just get to the point where you're only permitting, actual true NIL deals that have true value to them, right? I think that's the biggest issue right now is you're just seeing collectives just saying, hey, we'll offer you this amount of money. Then, okay, you can just do these things when you're here as a student athlete. That's not like a true NIL deal. A true NIL deal would say, hey, you're going to get paid X amount of dollars for X amount of, interviews, social media posts, this and that, things like that. I think that's the biggest thing, Pat, that they just need to, really decipher what is a true NIL deal versus a collective just trying to offer a lump sum of money to an individual to come play at their university. And I think once you start doing that, like even if you have a committee or a board that has to approve these specific deals that have valuations, true valuations to them, I think that'll help. But you're right, in terms of stopping a team from doing something like that, I don't think there really is anything. I mean, because we see that there's already a large disparity and difference between what some schools and universities are spending versus other schools, right? And there's not really a rule saying that's illegal.
Yeah, exactly. Oregon with Nike, just goes on and on and on. But what these people have, and that Penn State can pay a lot of money too. They got a very, very rich alumni base, and so. But anyway, we've got the hot shot running back coming in out of Texas this weekend. This is a major, major recruiting weekend. I think a lot of our Alabama quarterbacks and all are back to help recruit this weekend. I'm getting very, very excited about the fact that this lawless rain you see coming through. You understand what this is? It's a tremendous cold front blowing in from Alaska. It's fixing to get not over 40 degrees in Tuscaloosa, and that's according to Captain Morgan with the Alabama football team.
Wait. Did you just say it's supposed to get 40 degrees here?
Yeah. I mean, you didn't see anything.
Wow.
You hadn't heard. Yeah, that Captain Morgan, that our general manager says it's not supposed to be over 40 degrees in Tuscaloosa. That we're going into the
cold. You're making a joke about. Okay.
I got you.
Okay, I get where you're going with this, Pat. You're talking about this whole mantra that they use about it's a cold summer or something like that.
Christian, he had me for a second. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I was about to say I feel so dumb right now because I'm like,
that's what all the rain is. Come on.
No, but listen, Pat. Let me defend myself. The only reason I thought there was some validity to what you were saying, which I'll be honest with you, I didn't think that was at all possible. That just wouldn't make sense. But you do know a lot about weather, and you do typically call in when there's reports of severe weather, and you've mentioned those systems. I forgot what the system's called, but you're very in tune with the weather, so I'll give you that. I respect your weather opinion, so you're lucky that I do that because that's what I believe what you just did.
Well, hey, Captain Morgan, as I like to call him, hey, he definitely is forecasting. Hey, it better start happening soon, because Lord knows we're down at about number 39 in recruiting, and I cannot stand losing even playing checkers, let alone just like you talking about bowling. Hey,
yeah.
I mean, we got to get this recruiting class teamed up, and I think it starts this weekend. Because there's some hot shot players coming in even early on, and but I like the fact that into June that we get the last visit from Mr. Crowell down in at Jackson High School down in Lower Alabama.
Yeah, no, it should be a good weekend. It is that time of year. Everybody always typically is a little concerned when they look at recruiting rankings, but then I always tell them, summer, especially now with the new December signing day, which really, 95% of recruits are pretty much signed by that period of time. Really, summer is like the prime time for guys to get offers, go and commit. So you're going to see a lot of movement this summer in terms of the whole recruiting stuff. And we'll talk a little bit more about it as it comes up. But yeah, it's that time of year. I forgot to mention this earlier. The football guys are pretty much back to work. School's kicking back off, I believe, this week, if not today. So these guys their vacation is done. Their break is done. And it's back to work. And it's the start of what Kalen DeBoer was describing is going to be a really tough summer. Remember, he talked about that a couple weeks ago, I believe, when he mentioned, a lot of these guys have been working right now, and he was telling them, ease up just a little bit because when you come back, we're getting to work. So it sounds like they plan on, ramping this program up this summer. I'm curious to see what that means. I'm gonna go up there and check it out. I'll be up there throughout the summer, so I'm really gonna see what that means because I'm like, all right, y'all talking about ramping it up. I know Coach Ballou does a good job, but he seems like he means business. So I'm curious to see what that might look like. So maybe I'll have an answer for y'all in the next week or two.
Hey, remember that cold front's coming through Omaha to Tuscaloosa this weekend.
Oh, God.
Coming through Omaha, Nebraska.
I'm sure it is,
I
Pat.
got you. Have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. You too, Pat. Appreciate you, man. Chase, when he said that, I'm telling you, at first I'm like, number one, I'm not a weather expert by any means, but I'm like, two, he's called in and actually he knows what he's talking about with the severe weather. I'm like, then he's saying Captain Morgan, Chase. I'm like, with all due respect, I mean, we had a captain, Lord, I'm sorry, I forgot his name, Captain something that was doing the traffic on the radio station. So I'm like, I don't know who the hell Captain Morgan is. The only Captain Morgan I know is a drink, and I don't even drink, but I know of Captain Morgan. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about, but I went with it. And of course, he was talking about Courtney Morgan in this recruiting thing that they call, I guess, a cold summer. I don't know. We'll see if it is indeed a cold summer because the recruiting is about to pick up. All right, Chase, let's go ahead and hit this timeout. When we come back, we'll probably go ahead and jump into this interview and hear what Greg Sankey had to say. Again, a lot of stuff coming out of SEC spring meetings down in Destin. Kalen DeBoer also speaking. We got to talk about that. We'll break that down as well. So we're going to be listening to a number of things. But again, it's a Talking Tuesday, 205-342-9904. If you like Pat and you want to jump on the phone lines, we're going straight to you. We're cutting the interview, going straight to you. Or if you guys got anything you want to drop it, as a talking point, you guys know the drill on that Tide 100.9 app. You can download that for free, by the way. Leave those questions, comments, and concerns right there. We'll discuss it on air. Or you can always come here on our YouTube live stream and come hang out, interact in the chat, and drop your questions there, and we'll discuss it as well. So want to take a time out? We'll keep on rolling right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport Experts. Quick time out. We'll be right back. See, Bama, what's up, man? Mike, what's going on? New 2020. Yeah, we're going to get in that in a minute. I got the little 20-second ad that Ryan posted with it as well. Yeah, I like that they put those. We just were talking about those two last week, man. Two dogs. That's a dope color. Dope cover. I like it. Let me see if I can find Kalen DeBoer speaking the audio from it. If not, we'll just discuss like a transcript or something. But I know somebody's posted it. Somebody, yeah, there you go, right there. 15 minutes. Let's start with Greg Sankey, though. We'll start with Greg Sankey. Let that run a little bit.
Free delivery on appliance purchases of $396 or more. Offer valid May 15th through June 4th.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back.
Online for details.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama, we are here
treating patients from every generation
across the United States
and from around the world.
We're here for the rookies and the dreamers, trying to make a name for themselves.
We are here for the achievers
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors
who are shaping the next generation of legends.
We are here for you,
aggressively pursuing victory over injury.
Learn more at andrewsportsmedicine.com.
Are you receiving unemployment? Your benefits could be at risk. Here's how you can protect yourself and your benefits. Never respond to mail notifying you of a false claim in your name. Never answer a text message asking you to verify your account. And only respond to official Alabama Department of Labor's social media pages. Report fraud at labor.alabama.gov/fraud. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Labor, ABA, and the station. The Alabama Department of Labor is an equal opportunity employer program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Dial 711 for TTY accessibility.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RADIO to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RADIO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RADIO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
365, 24/7. You'll find road and utility crews, tow trucks, law enforcement, and first responders working along Alabama's roadway.
We're making improvements and helping our communities stay connected.
We're working hard to make sure you're safe on the road. Now we need your help to make sure we're safe too.
Alabama's move over law requires you to move over a lane when you see flashing lights on the roadside. And if you can't safely move over, please slow down.
Visit drivesafealabama.org. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Transportation, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
The Alabama Securities Commission protects you from financial fraud. Anyone asking you for investment money must be licensed. You're careful with your money. Fraudsters aren't. Before you invest, call our hotline at 1-800-222-1253 to verify the licensing of the person making an offer and the product. Don't lose your hard-earned money. Learn to protect yourself at asc.alabama.gov. Paid for by the Investor Protection Trust and brought to you by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I want to tell you about our great friends over at Brian Harding Construction. Located in the heart of Tuscaloosa, Brian Harding Construction is woman-owned and strong as steel, a specialty manufacturing firm with expertise in structural steel fabrication, ASME code piping and vessels, CNC machine work, welding, laser cutting, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, and crane rentals. With a proven track record of over 30-plus years of experience, no one is better fit for the job. For an evaluation, contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205-752-9611. Again, that's Brian Harding Construction at 205-752-9611.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first?
Chase, I might call an audible. I know we got that Greg Sankey ready, but I might wait. I might go to. I got another video I was thinking of. I found Kayla on the board, by the way, too, so we can listen to that.
Discover.com/credit card.
It happens more than you think. A customer wants, needs the goods and services your business offers. No matter how hard they try, they can't find you, but they find your competitor right there at the top of the results page.
And even if they do find your website, when they click, it's like a ghost town.
Hello?
Outdated, not compelling, and perhaps worse, it has information that's not accurate.
Y2K?
But Kirby fix that. At Town Square Interactive, we have the tools to help you maximize your online presence. Just go to mylocalcustomers.com and start by getting a free local customer analysis.
This online tool will show you just how many customers in your area you could be reaching. To get in front of those customers, we will build a premium website for your business.
One that shows up well in web searches and converts website clicks into phone calls, appointments, and foot traffic.
It's simple, it's fast, and it's affordable. Go to mylocalcustomers.com and get started by getting your free local customer analysis today.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Talking Tuesday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hope everybody is staying dry. Definitely a very rainy day, but hope you guys had a good Memorial Day weekend. Just talk with Pat. Again, it is Talking Tuesday, 205-342-9904, talking about anything and everything and talking with you guys. We are open on the phone lines if you guys want to jump on. I was going to go to that Greg Sankey press conference, but it is quite long, so I'm probably going to wait a second to do that. Plus, Kalen DeBoer also spoke down in Destin where the spring SEC meetings are taking place. So we will dive into some of that. But this came up, and I thought it was kind of interesting. I want to kind of discuss this interesting debate, and I definitely got some thoughts on it. So it's Josh Payton. He always is answering questions from his social media stuff. There's an interesting one regarding college football, which again we're always talking about that, right? But this was interesting, Chase. This was basically a question about college football becoming pay-per-view. Now, I'm just telling you right now, I'm about had it with this whole pay-per-view, Chase. I mean, everything is pay-per-view, everything requires a subscription nowadays. And if you're saying like we get to a point where think about this, think about how the NFL does it. You got to have like red zone package to watch certain games. You can't watch games outside of your I mean, it's just ridiculous, right? So imagine if that makes its way to college football. Well, this is the question that Josh Pate got. Let's hear him discuss it, then we're going to react to it.
I said, did you see Skipper say he could see college football games becoming pay-per-views? Could be interesting. Feels like he's someone who could help with the college football TV issues. Well, this wouldn't help at all with the TV issues in college football. So he is referring to John Skipper, who's the former president of ESPN. And he was on Pablo Torre's show this week. And he was talking speculatively about the media industry. And he was talking about college football. And he was just tossing some ideas around. He's talking about ESPN's new over-the-top or streaming platform, whatever you want to call it, and how you drive revenue to that. And there's a lot of in-the-weeds business stuff. But he was tossing out some of his theories. One of his long-held theories has been one day the NFL will make the Super Bowl a pay-per-view event. And I disagree with that as well, but who knows? Maybe he's right. He did formerly run ESPN, emphasis on formerly. So now he gets to the college football part. And he was talking, this is the context. He's talking about ESPN. Okay, they are about to launch a streaming platform. It's called ESPN, by the way. And they have properties like the SEC TV contract and the playoff TV contract. And he was saying, it could be in the future that for the biggest college football games during the season, you don't just turn on the channel and get them. You got to pay $4.99, $5, $6, $7 to watch Georgia versus Alabama. And it's imperative to have the right people in the room, because the right people in the room would shoot that down in 2 seconds. But I can't guarantee you that what he said will never happen, because college football doesn't always have the right people in the room. And you'll notice John Skipper's not the right person to be in the room. A TV executive is not the right person to be in the room, because left to their own devices, they'll just head down that road. That's why you got to have strong leadership on the college football side of the table that says, oh, you're serious? Leave. That's what good leadership does when they're told, we want to charge an extra little pay-per-view rate for 5 big games this year, which turns into 7 next year, which turns into 15, which turns into, you're paying for 2 games every Saturday, or you're not. So, Josh, this works for boxing back in the day. It works for UFC. It does. They also hit each other in the throat in UFC. We don't do that in college football. Do you want to make any other irrelevant comparisons to UFC and college football? Let me also explain to you a key difference there, friend, why that model does work for UFC and doesn't work / has no business in college football. UFC fights are standalone events, meaning if I fight Jesse in the octagon on Sunday night, that's just it. We just fought. And there's a winner and a loser. And if he's a big star and he's a celebrity and I'm a celebrity and our popularity has transcended just our sport, a lot of people care. and they'll pay $19.95 to watch it. Let me cut in really quick and ask, look, prayer hands, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribed. Check in. It doesn't sign you up for anything year-round. The way God, back to football, Georgia plays Alabama in a regular season game in hopes of trying to get to an SEC championship game that everyone will be able to watch for free, in hopes of advancing to a college football playoff. So the emphasis in the sport, as people like that have blown the playoff up to be as big as possible, side effect is the regular season games, relatively speaking, are less meaningful now than they were 10 years ago. And yet you're floating out the theory that maybe we can charge people. It's such a gross misreading of the room. But, people like that, although they're in the business where they should care to a 10 out of 10 degree what the public feels and what they think, they don't have their finger on the pulse of college football fans. They don't. They know what data on a spreadsheet says, but they don't know you. I used to think otherwise. Let me tell you, I was talking to someone today about the big sledgehammer to my face when I got into our business and realized a lot of those people are clueless. They're smart people. They're very, very smart people. Smart people can be ignorant on a topic. Unfortunately, a lot of executive types in the media world are smart people that are ignorant about college football because they don't have a background in it. They got a background in pro sports. They know the NFL. They know the NBA. You ever wonder why the NBA is less popular in this country than college football, but gets covered way more than college football? It's because more people who make decisions at network levels know the NBA, care about the NBA, know how to sell the NBA. They don't know how to sell college football because they don't know the consumer base of college football. Therefore, they don't know the right brands to pitch to who are relying on that demographic. It's mind-boggling. Anyway, don't overestimate these people. You overestimate them or underestimate them. Yeah, overestimate them to your own peril. But I can guarantee you this won't happen. Or I can't guarantee you this won't happen. I had that written down on a piece of paper. That's why I misspoke. I can guarantee you it shouldn't happen. I can't guarantee you it'll never happen because I can't guarantee that the right decisions will always be made in college football. I can guarantee you it won't happen anytime soon, but I can't guarantee you for certain it won't happen.
I don't know, Chase. I mean, he sounds like he's pretty set, like, oh, that's not going to happen. But I'll be honest with you, man. I mean, just knowing how everything, like, I looked this up because I was like, let me make sure I'm not tripping. So to watch all NFL games, fans would need at least subscriptions to 5 streaming services, costing them hundreds of dollars. Right now, obviously, that's the NFL. I get it. It's different. But I'm just saying, I mean, the NFL is like that. And Skipper, the guy he's talking about, former ESPN guy, I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think it ends up making its way to college football like that. But would it shock me if we saw that at some point? Probably not. What say you, Chase? I mean, do you think one day we see college football being pay-per-view? Now, I will just add this real quick. I don't think it becomes pay-per-view in the sense of like boxing or anything, but could it become similar to how the NFL requires certain subscriptions to see certain games or regionally? Maybe. I'll be honest with you. I mean, because I just know at the end of the day, it's all revolves around money. But when he just said that point about the Super Bowl thing, how that guy believes that could happen, I'll be honest with you. I don't see that being too far-fetched. I mean, just think about how everything else is pay-per-view, right? I mean, me and you like wrestling. I'm a boxing guy. All these types of things. What's stopping them from doing the Super Bowl like that? I could definitely see the Super Bowl becoming a pay-per-view event. What do you think? Do you think any of this comes to fruition, or you think it's all a bunch of crap?
I think there's some truth to it, especially with college football growing. You know, we're starting to have games overseas now, so it can tap into that for sure. I just don't put it past them. If it's something that can make them money, I don't see them being quiet on it, especially where there's so many deals. Like, you know, you got Hulu, you got Peacock, you got NBC. There's so many other streaming services that are making money, like on WWE, the Premier League, NFL now being like YouTube TV, they're making money. So when you add college football into that, that's a whole nother brink truck coming in every year, Christian. So right now, I don't think it'll happen because they need their fans right now, especially with how the state is right with everything. But once it's stable again, oh yeah, you're gonna see a YouTube subscription needed for an Alabama game, or you're gonna need a Peacock to see like Ohio State and Michigan. It's just how things are with broadcast and television, unfortunately. But yeah, I see that happening. We have a subscription, even for college students. I feel like they're gonna start using that too.
Yeah, and like you just said, I mean, that's what I feel like would be a possibility. Now, I don't think it happens anytime soon. At least I hope it doesn't. But I would not be shocked. I'm more so shocked that Pate felt so strongly about. Oh, that's not happening. When you just laid it out, I mean, just like you see, like, oh, okay, Peacock has rights to this event, and we know with the college athletes now being able to be compensated, right? They're trying to find other ways to come up with money, right, and other ways to do that. I mean, think about what really, Collective does, like with the whole Alabama thing. It subscription based, right? This is another opportunity for them to create something subscription based, which from a business model, from a business perspective, anytime you can have a subscription based service, it's one of the best models. Why? Because it's reoccurring, right? It's not just a one time purchase. It's reoccurring monthly, whenever, or annually, however it's done. Those, like, literally, if you look at like God, we're starting to get really deep in this whole analytics thing. But if you look at these companies, Disney and all that, Disney, what drives so much of their revenue, I'd argue it's the subscriptions. They own Hulu. I have a Hulu subscription. I don't pay for cable. I use Hulu Live, right? So I definitely think that could happen. Let's go ahead and take a look at this, Chase, because this is actually the clip. I know we're going into the top of the hour break, but let's hear what the ESPN executive, Mr. Skipper, actually said, because I found the clip of him on this podcast. So let's actually hear what he detailed about his thoughts on college football and other sports becoming pay-per-view.
How do you price this thing? $299 per year, in addition to a select plan, which offers all content available on ESPN Plus for $11.99 per month or $119 per year. There's some fine print there. But, if you go with Disney Plus and Hulu, introductory offer, all three services, $29.99 for the first year. We're getting into the language of, as I used to hear as a New Yorker, the triple play is the deal, like these jingles from cable companies. We are in that era for DTC now.
Well, bundling is my favorite word, because what we talked about was breaking the bundle and having people go a la carte and pay for what they want. That was the whole argument of why people were cutting their cord. I don't want to pay for a baseball game that I don't want to watch. Now, what all these companies are jumping over each other to do is to bundle and give the consumer an offer and the ability to get more than one streaming service. You put them all together and you pay a price per month. And what it leads to is
you pay more.
You end up paying more. And so it's been one of the great grifts. It makes me so happy from a stockholder standpoint, is that people have not yet figured out that they're paying more per month. And we almost got caught just now with the NFL schedule release.
Why?
Because it was announced where the NFL is going to have games on YouTube and games here, games there. Someone added up how much it would be to get every NFL game. And it became a lot of money. And I got nervous, because if people start paying attention to that, there's going to be a bit of a kickback.
And this is from the league that said they were going to be free for as long as possible.
Well, that
and they were
expired.
And they were, and that was
good.
A fine place to be at the time. But there's a reason it's $29.95. The cable operators are paying probably at this point $11-12 for ESPN 10, $11-12.
$29.99, by the way.
Yeah, $29.99.
4 cents, very relevant.
So they're already having to charge more money to get to the same economics on the customer. And get ready for something else which you'll love, which is, and they've already done it on ESPN Plus. If you want to if you want to watch the really high profile UFC match or a high profile boxing match, you got to pay extra. I will bet you this app has the capability to say, we would love to give you that Alabama-Georgia game free, but we've decided this year we're going to charge an extra $4.99 for that game.
Well,
by the way, it's good business.
Called pay-per-view.
It's called pay-per-view, but it's going to be good business. But people think pay-per-view has to be the Tom Brady it wasn't, but they cost. It has to be a big boxing match, a big UFC match. We've talked on this show before that the Super Bowl will be a pay-per-view event.
This is John's most long-standing take, that the money
there.
No,
I got other long-standing takes that were wrong, so this could be as well. But I'm consistent in my...
The phone, ESPN The Phone, another long-standing take.
But you're going, as they struggle with delivering the growth to the shareholders, they're going to say, how else can we make money?
Wow. Well, you guys just heard that. We got to hit this top of the hour break. Now, I want you guys to really think on that because we're going to discuss a little bit more when we come back. I'm not going to lie, Chase. Hearing them kind of break that stuff down, I know Pate didn't think there was a chance in hell that happened. I'm not going to lie to you. Kind of leaning more in their favor that, hey, we might see that, unfortunately. I know that sucks as viewers of the sport, but just being somebody that's realistic with stuff, man. These companies, these businesses, they want to make money. They're trying to drive revenue, especially in a sport now that allows the players to benefit. Oh, man, I don't know, Chase. Not trying to ruin y'all's lunch right now. Y'all's lunchtime hour hearing this, but it's something to think about. Definitely could happen. Think about it. I want to get y'all's responses. If you're in the YouTube chat, drop y'all's responses there. How do you feel about college football potentially becoming pay-per-view? Would you still watch? Would you be down for it? Let us know. 205-342-9904 is the number. I want you guys to get on the conversation as well. On this Talking Tuesday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
BC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa, a Town Square media station. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.
All right, what do y'all think about that? Potential pay-per-view coming to college football. Obviously, again, these guys are just talking about what they think could happen. It's not like people are planning this, but let's just even use the example for what he just mentioned. Like, all right, Alabama, Georgia, primetime game. ESPN Plus, $4.99 to watch it. Good news is, like, literally everybody would be probably watching it somewhere, right? I mean, you got some people that probably just watch it at home by themselves. It's totally fine. But I'd imagine most of the time people are, with other people. $5. I mean, obviously, any venue, bar, wherever, friend's house who might be watching their fans, they're going to drop that $5 and it's nothing. So I don't think it'd be like the end of the world. I feel like the crazy thing is we always talk about these changes and people are like, no, it's not going to happen. And then ends up happening and people are like, oh, if it happens, I'm not a fan anymore. I'm out. That's it. It's final straw. Then what happens? You know what I mean? Like in a couple months, they kind of get over it and it's like $5. But what's crazy is these companies get you like, it's $5, man. That's just one little, don't eat out one time and that pays for it. But he had a good point about the whole bundling thing. You don't even realize that. Example, I mentioned Hulu. Initially, I just had Hulu. Well, Disney owns Hulu, obviously. So what they did exactly what he was talking about. And ESPN is a part of that whole thing. It's a bundle. So I get Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus, right? It's like the trifecta. And initially, I was like, damn, it's a great deal. But he's right. Now they have the luxury of charging. I think I pay almost $90. I think pay around $90 a month for that package. I'd argue if it was just Hulu, I'd probably, realistically, the value of it's probably half of it. Do I use Disney Plus? Not really. I think I used it for 2 weeks trying to get into some Marvel movies. And that was like the only time. ESPN Plus, you would think I would use it all the time. Literally having my own sports show. I forget I even have it because I didn't initially sign up for it. They gave it to me. So I don't know, man. I mean, I don't think the dude's just talking outside of his neck, man. I mean, again, he was a former executive at ESPN or whatever his role was. I don't know. I just know if you guys are like me, I'm sick of having to pay for stuff every month. Every month is something. I agree, but if you have to pay to watch a game, I might as well go to the game physically. But I would pay if I had to already subscribe. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know how they would really even do. Again, this is all just hypotheticals, but I mean, maybe if you're like an ESPN Plus subscriber, you know what's crazy? I don't know if do you guys have issues with ESPN Plus though? Half the time, like I try to use the ESPN app or ESPN Plus app to watch those games that I'm, entitled to, or at least supposed to be. It never, like it's like the worst system. Like it never loads correctly. It's just always problems. That's the other reason I don't even use it. It doesn't even work half the time. The app is trash. Yeah, no, it is, which is crazy. It's literally an ESPN app, and it's the most inconsistent. I can't even watch anything. Like literally, like probably I'm not making this. Like 75% of the time, I actually even try to use it to watch something. It doesn't work. Doesn't even work.
A mix of sun and clouds this afternoon will maintain the chance of a few passes.
Okay, so y'all have the same issues too. Yeah, it's not just me then. It's terrible, man.
Added to numerous showers and storms around, the high 82.
So imagine that, and they're trying to charge you to watch a game.
Weather
It's not even
Center on
working.
Tide
That'd be
100.9. It's 70 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Talking Tuesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Hope everybody's doing well. We closed off hour number 1 with some interesting stuff. I saw a video that Josh Payton posted about the potential of pay-per-view games in college football, and I was like, wait, that's interesting. Let me check that out. So we listened to that, and then it led us to the original interview with John Skipper, formerly of ESPN, who was on this podcast. Pablo Torre finds out, and we just heard them discuss the whole deal, which I'll be honest, after hearing them talk about it, me and Chase both just said, I mean, we do feel that could be a thing in the future. Now I hate to get y'all's new week started on this note and have you guys having anxiety about having to pay for even more subscriptions, but it was something that had come up, and I was like, yeah, let's take a look at that. Just to refresh it, this is the article that was written. They've already done it on ESPN Plus. If you want to watch the really high-profile UFC match or high-profile boxing match, you got to pay extra, which is true. I mean, you can watch like the prelims and stuff free, and then obviously for those big events, you got to pay. I will bet you this app has the capability to say, you know what, we would love to give you that Alabama-Georgia game free, but we decided this year we're going to charge an extra $4.99 for that game. It's going to be good business. People think pay-per-view has to be a big boxing match or a big UFC fight. We've talked on this show before that the Super Bowl will be a pay-per-view event. So he's not saying might be. He's saying it will be, which is crazy. Here, I've got my calculator pulled up, Chase. So if you guys are on the stream, you can see this again. We are streaming live on YouTube. The luxury of it is you can watch me do the show. What's up, everybody? Or you can also at the same time see our screen and we can watch videos and all that good stuff. Anyway, so let me share this. First, I Googled right here. You guys can see it. How many viewers did the Alabama and Georgia game have in 2024? Again, last season when Georgia traveled to Tuscaloosa. Answer, 12 million viewers. It says Alabama-Georgia game in 2024 drew historic viewership numbers with 12 million viewers tuning in to watch the 41-34 victory for the Crimson Tide, the most watched regular season primetime game since 2017. All right, let's go to the next tab, Chase. We got our calculator pulled up. Now, you guys know I like doing math. Not going to try to do this math, though. A little bit too big of numbers for me. All right, so he threw out the number 499. We're just going to say 5. We're going, okay, not there. We're going to throw it in here. All right, we got 5, right? So we're going to throw in 5, and then we're going to multiply. So it said how many viewers? 12 million. I doubt all those came from one source. Wait, but if ESPN owns it, does that mean everybody would have to? Let's just for fun, let's just do half of it. Let's just say they get half of those viewers to pay it, right? Just for this. Oh God. 1,000, 60,000, 600,000, 6 million. All right. $30 million. I guess I could have done that in my head. That was not that hard. $30 million, Chase, that would have generated. $30 million. If you took half the viewers from that game and they paid $5. Now, again, the reason I did half, let's just think about it. People going to watch it at an event, whatever. Things like that, or people are, sitting at somebody else's house. I guess, I don't know. I just was thinking of all the other things that could be in the equation. I don't know. $30 million they would have generated just by charging folks $5. To us, or to a lot of people, they just, you want to watch that game. I'd argue that. I mean, think about how quick, Chase, people are to pull out their wallet to go buy, quick fast food, this or that. Most people, even though we say, oh, we don't like it, we hate, we would pay that. We would say, $5. I got $5 to spare. I want to watch this game. Well, that $5 for us turns into $30 million for them of extra revenue generated. And that's one game, right? So now talk about, Ohio State, Michigan, right? Texas, Oklahoma, you know what I mean? Like golly, man. If you just did the math, multiply that by 3, you're looking at $90 million between those 3 big games right there. I mean, from a business perspective, I'm just going to be honest with you. I get it, man. Wow. That's crazy to think about. So I don't know about y'all. I'm not looking forward to anything else like that coming up. I don't think that necessarily is in the near future, but could it happen? I just know how greedy these companies are. I think it definitely could be a thing of the future. Southern on our YouTube chat says, let's see. The NFL does it without pay-per-view. Why can't college? But the thing is, they have those subscriptions though. You know what I mean? Like, what is it, like the Red Zone package? They've got what's the other one called? Sunday Ticket, I think. You know what I mean? I mean, I think there's ways they could definitely try to charge, even if it's not the exact format that we just heard. I would argue that they could find ways to make some money. Crystal says agree, but if I have to pay to watch a game, I might as well go to the game physically. But I would pay to watch if I already had, if I had to already subscribe to ESPN Plus. Which I think the reality is, again, we can complain about it, but I think most of us would still pay. Now it depends how much. If you're talking about $49.99, hell no. $4.99, sure. $49.99, nah, man. You catch me at your local restaurant, sports bar or something. I'm not paying that. It'd just be wrong. Ticket prices are crazy, and even though $5 isn't a lot every weekend, multiple team games, come on. Yeah, I'm with you. I totally agree. Mike says big games on ESPN Plus don't work. I've watched lacrosse games with no issues, and that's my whole thing. And I was talking about that during the break. If they even think about trying to charge, they better fix their service, because my ESPN app doesn't even work half the time to watch stuff. And I was telling the chat that it's terrible. So I wish they would try to charge me, and they don't even fix their stuff. Right? I mean, it's terrible, but I don't know. We'll have to see. But I do know there always are going to be people that find ways to play without. But here's the thing, Chase. I mean, like, what is it coming to if we do get to that? I mean, like, as much as I love boxing and UFC, it is annoying that, like, literally, if you want to watch those events, and I get it, that's how they work. I mean, there's a lot of money in that sport, whatever. But like, that's the one thing that really kind of is like keeps me from really going all in on those sports, because it's just like I'm not going to sit there and keep paying $50, $70 every other weekend to watch a good fight. Rather just go somewhere or find, no. And if that goes to college football, not going to be cool. Let's do this, Chase. Let's go ahead and take a quick timeout. When we come back, we got Kalen DeBoer, we got Greg Sankey both speaking at SEC spring meetings down there in Destin. want to talk about those a little bit, give you guys a break from this stressful conversation of potential pay-per-view. So when we come back, I don't know, maybe I'll flip a coin on who we'll hear from first, but we'll check in with SEC spring meeting, see what the developments are down there. We'll discuss them, break them down right here on the Miller's Edge after this quick timeout. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC live on YouTube. We'll be right back.
We are here treating patients from every generation across the United States and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers trying to make a name for themselves. We are here for the achievers
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you, aggressively pursuing victory over injury.
Learn more at andrewsportsmedicine.com.
Childhood cancer is devastating, but childhood cancer is beatable with St. Jude. I knew that St. Jude was a children's hospital, that no one ever received a bill from St. Jude, but I in no way understood how completely they take care of their patients and their families. To any of the donors, I would say bless you and thank you, because without the donors, St. Jude wouldn't be here.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I want to tell you about our great friends over at Brian Harding Construction. Located in the heart of Tuscaloosa, Brian Harding Construction is woman-owned and strong as steel, a specialty manufacturing firm with expertise in structural steel fabrication, ASME code piping and vessels, CNC machine work, welding, laser cutting, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, and crane rentals. With a proven track record of over 30-plus years of experience, no one is better fit for the job. For an evaluation, contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205-752-9611. Again, that's Brian Harding Construction at 205-752-9611.
Townsend Nissan will wow you with offers like this: up to $4,000 in rebates or 0% for up to 60 months on the all-new 2025 Pathfinder V6 SUVs. We have over 25 in stock. Oh, you want more? Up to $6,000 in rebates on the 2025 V6 Frontiers. And yes, Townsend Nissan has over 20 in stock and ready to roll. And yes, all models are tariff-free. We have 5 models that are under $30,000. Altima, Sentra, Rogue, Versa, and the hot new 2025 Kicks. Shop Townsend Nissan.
Hey, Bama fans, this is quarterback Jalen Milroe for my friends at Tuscaloosa Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. Before you shop anywhere else for a Dodge Ram truck, a Jeep, a Dodge Challenger, or a Dodge Charger, shop local. An amazing selection of new and pre-owned vehicles are on the lot now. Go see for yourself at 550 Skyland Boulevard East in Tuscaloosa, or you can shop online at TuscaloosaCDJR.com. At Tuscaloosa Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, you pick it out and we'll work it out. Roll Tide.
Are you receiving unemployment? Your benefits could be at risk. Here's how you can protect yourself and your benefits. Never respond to mail notifying you of a false claim in your name. Never answer a text message asking you to verify your account. And only respond to official Alabama Department of Labor's social media pages. Report fraud at labor.alabama.gov/fraud. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Labor, ABA, and the station. The Alabama Department of Labor is an equal opportunity employer program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Dial 711 for TTY accessibility.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A mix of sun and clouds this afternoon will maintain the chance of a few passing showers and thunderstorms through tonight. The high today 83, tonight's low 67. Tomorrow cloudy at times, scattered to numerous showers and storms around, the high 82. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 70 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Talking Tuesday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. But got to remind you about our friends over at R&R Cigars. Again, if you guys are in the market for the best cigars, the best sticks, the best humidor in the Southeast, you got to check out R&R Cigars, rnrcigars.com, or you can always pay them a visit at the big mansion here in Tuscaloosa, 2703 Gary Fitz Street. You can't beat them. 205-722-2741 is their number if you got any questions. But again, I'm telling you, if you're looking for a place to go watch your favorite sporting events, you're talking about paying for stuff. I mean, they'll pay for it. That way you can watch it for free. Plus, you can enjoy cigars, over 160 bourbons to choose from. They have it all right there for you on their website. They've got all these deals, 20% off of any 20 cigars when you build that perfect selection, plus free shipping on orders of $100 or more. You can't beat it. If you're like my dad, you're a big cigar guy, man, I'm telling you, they are the best in the business. Again, the best humidor in the Southeast. You can't beat it. Again, that is R&R Cigars right here in Tuscaloosa. R&R Cigars, the official cigar provider of Alabama football since 2014. All right, we got SEC spring meetings going down again. Greg Sankey's part is like 40 minutes, so we won't hit that. I definitely want to hit that, though, because there's some big things that he talked about in terms of the whole playoff push. He was sending some shots left and right. I mean, it definitely was, important. Problem is, I don't have it clipped up or anything like that. So maybe we'll save that one, Chase, for tomorrow to dive into that a little bit more. Because we also have Kalen DeBoer, as you guys can see on the YouTube stream. We got his press conference right here. I think that might be a little more interesting right now without having to let Sankey's thing play through. So let's just do that, Chase. We'll start with Kalen DeBoer's press conference. And I'll play it on my end, so don't worry, man. But let's go ahead and head down to Destin, Florida, virtually, not physically. Would be nice. I don't know about the weather though. It might be storming down there too, but it's never a bad day when you're at the beach. Anyway, let's go ahead and head to Destin to spring meetings for the SEC, where Kalen DeBoer took to the podium and held a press conference.
Now we get back together and get to focus on us doing it together as our program. So. And then obviously recruiting. It's a big month for recruiting and camps as well. So, and then a little bit of downtime for July. I know our coach has been going nonstop. Really, when you kind of look at the schedule, they got spring ball. Then they were on the road with spring recruiting. And now we're getting right into everything I just mentioned. So open to any questions.
Thanks, Coach. Let's start with Matt here on the far left.
Yeah, having been left out of the playoff last year, does that make you at all hesitant to support a 9-game league schedule, just on the thought that maybe it won't be rewarded by the committee then?
I'm open to whatever. I'm open to hearing the conversations and listen. There's certainly thoughts you have, but I can't say that they're concrete in my mind. You kind of wonder what would happen if other people would have had the chance to play our schedule last year, and that would only get tougher. I know if you played a full SEC 9-game schedule.
Of course, we've got a commercial break already. I was going to actually pause that after that part, but anyway, might as well chime in real quick. I mean, interesting question you have here. Let's let him finish his answer.
And going into this season, we're playing 10 Power 4 games with Florida State and Wisconsin this year on top of the 8 games. So I know we haven't held back at this point on anything when it comes to playing a tough schedule, non-conference wise. So you would certainly have to look at those things as it applies if you played 9 regular season games that were all in the SEC. The question I have is, how do you really strength the schedule as you get more and more conference games? How do you really kind of understand what the strength schedule is from conference to conference? It's pretty easy with other sports when they play basketball, softball, baseball, whatever it might be, and you have all these non-conference games. So, that's beyond me to figure out. I'm just going to play the games that we can schedule and adjust accordingly as as we change, the SEC games, if that's the case.
Jalen, you said it's a big time for recruiting right now. The house settlement still not approved. Questions about clearinghouse enforcement. When a recruit comes to you, hey, what does my red shirt look like in Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
How do you answer that question? Like, the big is coming pretty soon, but we don't 100% know. Like, how do you kind of navigate that?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and that's certainly the question we are working through right now. And that's even just with our own team. We have a full team on campus right now, and I believe still a lot of those guys that were walk-ons are actually have their name in the portal because they have to be able to adjust. And we've fortunately got some guys that really want to be at Alabama in those walk-on roles, and if the roster size was reduced, they and we would have to adjust accordingly there also. But as we get into June here, those conversations are tricky when you don't know the parameters you're playing with. But I feel confident we got a competitive. We got an understanding a little bit of the baseline if this goes through, and that's really what we're working off at this point.
Let's go to the column back here and back left.
Obviously, you're in the middle of your second recruiting cycle. I'm curious, the brand of Alabama is obviously different when you pitch recruits, but I'm curious, with the resources that you have at your disposal, has that kind of changed your ability or your pitch to recruits, or kind of what does that look like with, I guess, compared to your other stops?
Which part the change?
Yeah, with the amount of resources that you have on your disposal to, I guess, lead toward football recruiting.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been a big part. We, pitch that a lot. And when guys come on campus and they see our players using the equipment they're using that is different than other places, and seeing the depth and magnitude of our staff, our facilities, there's a lot of work that's been done in the training room, weight room. We have great facilities all around. And then you add the tradition, what it's like to play in Bryant-Denny Stadium. The list goes on and on of the things that we continue to, that continue and just like always have brought guys to our program. And then, of course, I think selling our staff is really easy because they get around them. Our players are as good as any when it comes to recruiting because they just do what they do. They are who they are. And, that's very attractive to the guys that are going to be coming onto our campus here over the next month.
Front middle.
Jalen, I know you're going to hear about playoff formats, I assume, this week. But do you have sort of a general basis of like, here's what I think would be okay, maybe a number or something like that for a playoff format? I know the devil's in the details, but do you have a general idea of like, 16 maybe sounds good, 12, 14, do you have any preferences on what you think a playoff should look like?
I don't right now, and I'm wide open to that. I know I've been part now. I mean, we were in the 12-team playoff, but obviously saw what that looked like, and I've been a part of 16 playoffs at smaller colleges, and that was just 4 weeks of games, and so I don't think you're probably looking much beyond that as far as the number of teams entering the playoff, but that's my experiences, and so I think there's also just the details that go into how those teams are picked, how they're seeded. I think that's a lot of it as well. So I'm certainly open-minded to either of those and everything that comes along with it.
I'm sorry, just a quick follow-up. It sounds like the how you get to those teams might be more important than the number of the teams.
I think that's probably a lot of what's going to be discussed here today and tomorrow, and how we feel about that. And I think a lot of that has already been kind of set by Commissioner Sankey.
Let's go, Steve, front row.
Coach, you mentioned about the guys coming back on campus from a health perspective. Can you give us an update as to coming off of spring and how healthy the guys are?
Yeah, well, there will be a group, and there's too many as a whole that still coming off of last season, missed some time during spring ball, but there'll be a pretty good group that now is in full swing, and just a few guys that have what we refer to as limited or limited contact. I mean, there's not contact now, but limited, and just kind of monitoring their situations as they go through the month of June. But by the time we hit August, we feel very confident that we will have everyone back and be ready to roll at the level we need to. So guys are pouring everything into it right now. They they are almost over the top, with the work that they want to put in because of the desire they have to want to be great and have an amazing season, and really coming off of last year, want to prove some people right and prove some people wrong.
Go all the way back middle.
Coach, reflecting over the last year, what would you tell the Kalen DeBoer before he walked into the room last year about what would be ahead for him in his first year at Alabama?
I think a lot of it was just the early piece, just understanding what the timing of it was in January. I think that was the hardest part. The season and the ups and downs have been a part of that. I think a first year is always is extremely hard because there's going to be things that come your way that you just know are going to be hard to handle, and a lot of times it's the wins and the losses that I'm talking about. But that's I think last year it didn't play itself out like you want, but I think a lot of the things that came weren't so far fetched when it came to what you expect a first year season in the SEC to be at Alabama. It's going to be a grind. It's going to test you as far as staying the course and just test our team as far as sticking together. That's going to be every year, and it just is another level, I guess, when you really look at guys leaving the program and not getting an opportunity to really bring too many in just because of the timing of when the transition happened. But we're in a good spot right now because I think our guys have really we've kind of really found out who wants to be here. They've really dug in deep. We got a great mix of upperclassmen that understand what it takes, mixed with some young guys that either got their feet wet last year or coming in, and have been really accepted in a way that they feel appreciated by the guys who've gone through it. So I'm really looking forward to this team, this next 6 to 8 months.
Anything unique or different about being in the South or Tuscaloosa on a lighter note that maybe wasn't anticipated?
I think when you move around, I'm from the Midwest. I think there's a lot more Midwest in the South than people probably realize. I mean, there's different levels of heat because it's hot and humid, that kind of whole thing. That's the question I get asked, the most is how you handle the weather. But I think when it comes to people, there's just great people everywhere, and I've lived in different parts of the country, not necessarily on the East Coast, but from Michigan and Indiana on over to the West Coast, you find that there's more similarities than there are differences.
Got time for a couple more questions. Start here.
Kalen, what do you think of this idea for play-in weekend instead of, or maybe in addition to conference championship games? You've played, like you said, in playoffs for long. Does it get to a point as a coach where it might be too long? Is it creating risk, or could it be exciting? What do you think?
Yeah, I think anytime you have a chance to be in that, because to me a play-in game is kind of still part of the playoffs, and I'm thinking just generally speaking, not specifically about Alabama. I think that that adds to the excitement. It keeps more people interested in where their team sets. But I don't know, and again, I don't know enough about how that would look and how that would relate to a conference championship or anything like that. What those weeks, how they would all add up to what we have already to find a national champion. So I think there's a lot in the next couple of days that I'll probably learn, just like all of us, and hopefully keep the ball moving to where we can figure it out and what's best. I don't know if there's a perfect solution. We just got to figure out what's best for everyone involved.
Go far right.
How challenging is it to go from coaching a quarterback with Jalen Milroe's skill set versus another quarterback with a different skill set?
I think with Jalen, he just had he had added elements to his game, right? So, he could throw the ball, but you had to make sure you were utilizing to benefit your team the things he can do with his legs. And, I think that making sure you're incorporating more offense.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube.
We got another ad real quick, and we're back.
Where he can take advantage of that, and we can take advantage of that. then forces you to have to figure out where are you taking away, because there's still only so many snaps you play in a game or a season. Who's touching the ball, and it's going to take away from someone else, and you're trying to figure out that balancing act. And a lot of it has to depend on the other personnel you have around him. And that will continue to be the case as we move forward this year. We do have probably with 3 guys that are more alike than different, because Jalen was certainly different. I mean that in a positive way. I mean that with the utmost respect for what Jalen's game's all about, because he's got some special elements to his game when it comes to running that really I just have never been able to coach, or very few have seen.
All right, last question right here. How do you handle the evaluation of quarterbacks in this period of time when you're not practicing yet? But I imagine there are some things you can watch, leadership, intangibles. How do you handle that in June?
Yeah, in June, we get more opportunities now than you used to a few years back to be around them, whether it's in the classroom or on the field. And so, yeah, there's leadership. These guys all were doing things through the month of May on their own. And as much as they don't have to let us know what they're all doing. You do know, because position coaches are keeping track of all their guys and understanding the workload that they're taking on and where they're at. And these guys did a great job, all 3 of them, of really doing some of those leadership things and going places and bringing guys together. And the best part about it was it wasn't like one quarterback took 3 guys and another quarterback took these 4. They all did it together. And that's what I guess I appreciate about this group of guys. And it is a competition. I refer to it as a healthy one, just because I think they all respect each other. They're all going as hard as they can. They're going to step on each other's toes at times in that leadership role and things like that. But so be it. And again, I appreciate the way they've gone after it. June will be a big month for them to take the next step. In the end, we're tracking everything when we get into August, just like we did in the spring. And it doesn't always come down to who had the highest completion percentage, because sometimes it's so close. It's a lot of times a mixture of, who's moving the ball down the field the most. That's what's most important, right? Is putting points on the board. And so, who's keeping the ball, who's making the least amount of mistakes, big mistakes in particular. And then you're also just trying to give them all a chance, because they're at different points in their career where their growth is happening in different ways. No one has significant amount of playing time reps in a game, but obviously they are at different levels and all have different things that they've shown us that they can do at a high level already this spring.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And that was head coach Kalen DeBoer speaking at that was his press conference down at SEC Spring Meetings in Destin, Florida. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll break that down, respond to it, and maybe hear a little bit from Greg Sankey as well, who also had some big-time comments down with his press conference. So all that coming up after this quick timeout right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. We'll be right back. Oh, wait, let me let me fix this this pause right here. We kind of got Coach DeBoer in a bad spot there, man. Let me fix that. Okay, there we go. That's better. Let me see what this tweet is about. See if there's I wish there was a shorter way to Oh, we got Ricky on the phone lines? Heck yeah, we'll do that. Oh dang! I didn't even see that from earlier. My bad, Chase. You did type that. It must have. You know what? It probably. I didn't get the notification because it probably was. It was at like the same time that I clicked over for when you type 30 seconds, so probably thought I already saw it. Dang, my bad, Chase. Dang, I feel terrible. My bad, Ricky. God, I did not know he was sitting on there. That is on me. What's up, Tay? Dang, that's on me. Well, we're going to Ricky for sure. That's good. We'll go to Ricky on that. Let me share this real quick. What is he talking about? College football playoff format, 5 auto bids. Plus the rest of the field filled with at-large teams. It was 12. Wait, that's interesting right there. Hmm. Five auto bids. So the conference champs, one group of 6, and the rest with at-large teams. I don't understand. I'm confused on that, though. I don't understand.
205.
Is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Talking Tuesday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. Oh, man, I definitely dropped the ball. I did not realize Ricky had been on the phone lines for literally about an hour now. So, Ricky, please forgive me, man. Please forgive me. The notification is not on Chase. He sent me the notification. But unfortunately, when I clicked over, I guess it marked it as red, but I did not see that. So, without further ado, Ricky, we're coming straight to you. Ricky, welcome in, man. I'm sorry about that, bro. Did we lose him, Chase? Did I lose both of you? Chase, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I think we lost Ricky. If Ricky, if you can hear, just call back in and you're good to go.
Yeah, dang. That is totally on me, Ricky. I'm sorry about that, man. Gosh, I hate that. Hopefully you're free to again, Ricky, you can call right back in, but if not, we'll definitely talk tomorrow if you're not busy on set. Chase, I'm reading this in the meantime. I'm reading this tweet here from Brett McMurphy. Obviously, he covers college sports, college football. A college football playoff format with 5 auto bids, so Power 4 conference champs, one group of 6, plus rest of field filled with at-large teams, whether it's 12, 14, or 16-team field, has been proposed multiple times to the Big Ten and SEC. Big Ten and SEC have proposed 4 auto bids for their leagues, 2 each for ACC and Big 12, one group of 6, 3 at large. So I don't know. I kind of just jumped from that Kalen DeBoer press conference. I'll go back and kind of touch on a couple of things we heard from that. And if you guys have any thoughts, I'd love to get y'all's thoughts. But sounds like the SEC and Big Ten are pushing for just straight 4 Big Ten teams, 4 SEC teams. That's 8. 2 from the ACC. That's 10. 2 from Big 12. 12. And then to make it 16, you'd have one group of 6 bid, and then just 3 at large. To me, that's kind of interesting. Like, look, I get all, and I've been preaching about the Big Ten, the SEC, being the powerhouses. We know that, right? But what happens if it's like a down year in the SEC, which I don't see this happening, but just what if? Now, granted, these playoff, I guess, rules or whatever, they're not like long-term. You can always change them. But to me, Chase, I feel like, I don't know, like, the more I'm looking at this is interesting. Let's play hypotheticals. Let's go back to Let's look at last year's the rankings from last year to see how this would have played out. So the rankings from last year. Wait, no, I need the top teams. Okay. So the rankings from last year, so it would have gone if you used this new formula with the SEC and the Big Ten allegedly are pushing for. This is how it would have looked, Chase. And tell me what you think about this. So 4 auto bids for the SEC. So let's take the top 4 SEC teams. Georgia's in. Texas is in. Tennessee is in. Bama's in. Those would have been the 4 teams with auto bids from the Southeastern Conference. For the Big Ten, it would have been Oregon. They're now in the Big Ten. It would have been Penn State, Ohio State, and Indiana. Okay? You would have had 2 ACC teams. So Notre Dame's independent. I know they played in the ACC, whatever, a couple years ago, but you would have had Clemson and Miami, right? Yeah, Miami was 13, Clemson was 16. See, but this is why I'm starting to get like I'm like, oh, I guess it's top 16 because they've got 16. All right, let me slow down. And then Big 12, you'd have 2 teams, 1 group of 6, 3 at large. All right, so basically it would have been roughly ends up working out about the same if you look at it from last year, how things played out. Now, obviously, if I really took more time to dive into this, it probably would be a little bit different. But you still would have 3 at large. So, and then plus the let's see, 1 group of 6. So I guess Notre Dame would automatically be one of the at large, right? Because they don't belong to a conference. Wait, I'm tripping. No. It would have been SMU and Clemson. SMU and Miami, not Clemson. I'm sorry. SMU was in there. I knew I was like, something didn't look right. I'm trying to rush through this. It would have been SMU in Miami for the 2 bids from the ACC. So then the only teams remaining would have been, I mean, like I said, Notre Dame. They would have been in there. And then group of 6. I don't know. I don't know, Chase. I mean, when you just hear this, I mean, what do you think about this? Sorry, I know I'm taking a lot of time to sleep on this, but I'm trying to wrap my head around it because I guess what the main format they're trying to lean towards, at least like the playoff format that I guess whoever outside the SEC Big Ten would be, is basically the 5 auto bids would be the 4 conference champions plus a 1 group of 6. And then the rest is what they just talked about that they've changed. Instead of having those, automatic buys or whatever, I think they just go off of the rest of the teams that are ranked, whatever, the top 12, 16, or 14, however many teams they do. But the Big Ten, the SEC are trying to get this whole auto bid thing, which obviously if you're an SEC fan, you probably like that better. But to me, but Chase, what happens if you have a year where the SEC or the Big Ten isn't just what it like? You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, how does that look? What if the 4th seed for the SEC or the Big Ten is like ranked like 18 or like 20? Don't you think that kind of causes some controversy? Like, what if you don't have 4 teams that are in the top 12, 14, or 16? I know technically you had Clemson make it last year, and Clemson was 16, but you get what I'm saying. Don't you think that caused more? Can you hear me, Chase?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you. Do you think that would cause more controversy though if they did that like that with the SEC having like, say the SEC had like their 4th team that they had was like 17th or 20th, right? But with the system that they want 4 auto bids. Wouldn't that be more controversial?
100%. That'd be more controversial. Heck, there's probably some other teams last year that could have gotten, but based off resumes, strength of scheduling, and now But this year with auto bids and stuff, there's going to be a lot of heat. If an SEC team gets in and there's another team out there, whether it's like an ACC or like a Pac-12 that's much better, but because the SEC has so much leverage now, shoot, it might cause a conference to just be like, I don't want it anymore. Y'all can have it. We'll just play for something else, So I don't know. Hopefully, the SEC continues to stay at the heat it's been, because it puts so much pressure now on these Power 5 conferences to excel. Because if they don't, it's just going to look watered down, and you're allowing really any SEC team or a Big Ten team into the college football format, and that's not what you want, especially when you want so much engagement and competition and so many other teams getting in too. Like last year with SMU and Notre Dame, which wasn't really exciting, but it allowed other teams that we don't really see a lot come in and kind of give it a show.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why, I mean, it's like on one hand, I understand, because obviously Big Ten, SEC, I mean, they're dominant. Like last year, there should have been more SEC teams in there, right? I get that. But what happens if tides turn and things are just different? Or even with the Big Ten, what if they don't have? Which, I mean, you would imagine they would, but you get what I don't know. That's interesting to me. I mean, the good news is the top teams getting the buys now instead of conference champions. I mean, that's already good. But it sounds like there's going to be a big power struggle. And this is why I wanted to get to Greg Sankey's press conference, because he discussed some of this stuff. And he talked about these other conferences. And I get it. Even like, it's so crazy, Chase, how like everybody's perspective is just different depending on like where they come from, right? Which I guess is not crazy. That's expected. But I say that because like even Kalen DeBoer, let's take his answer about, they asked him about, hey, what are your feelings about a like a nine game conference schedule, right? Meaning like you go from, except is it 8 right now, right? Go to 9. People make it seem like his answer is implying that he's like running from competition or making excuses, but with the model that was set, I mean, you can't necessarily blame people in the SEC saying like, man, we're not necessarily just jumping at the bit to go straight to adding another SEC game when we already know how the dynamic works, because we experience this league. We understand that we're beating each other up every year, right? And we're knocking each other out of the playoffs. Why would we continue to do that and add even more harm to that when these other teams like Clemson and others are playing in these conferences that have no competition, and it gets easier for them, but we're going to make it harder for us? No. Which is crazy, because if you read some of these responses, Chase, to like him making that, like Brett McMurphy tweeted that he said that. Brett McMurphy tweeted his quote about being left out last year, and him saying, you wonder what would have happened if other people would have played our schedule, which to me, that doesn't come off as him making an excuse. That's throwing out a fair point. Now, granted, we did drop the ball. Our destiny was in our hands, and we didn't take advantage of it. We, shot ourselves in the foot. But I mean, take a team like, I keep using Clemson because it's the easiest one to use, Chase. I mean, you think about Clemson, how easy their schedule is, but they're a solid team. You put Clemson in the SEC and you give them Alabama's schedule, you give them Florida's schedule, you give them any of these team schedules, I guarantee you, man, they already barely made it. They're the 16th last year in that soft conference. Throw them in the SEC and see how they fare. Throw Miami in the SEC and see how they fare. I mean, like, let's just be real. Arizona State, Boise, I'm like, let's just call a spade a spade. They're in the SEC, not happening, right? It's not even a thought. So I get what he was saying with that, but other people, they don't understand that. I understand it playing in this league. I mean, I knew firsthand. I mean, like, dude, we could play Mississippi State. We could play your team, Chase. We could play Mississippi State, and we could go into a game facing a Mississippi State team that is like, I don't know, 3-6 or something like that. And we know it's going to be a dogfight because they still are a tough physical team. They're a solid team. It's just their record's not going to show it. They're not the best team, but their record's going to show they've been getting beat up on by some other SEC teams who are also good. Personally, if I was a head coach in the SEC, I mean, until they figured out the whole playoff dynamic, I probably would be a little more hesitant on adding Just another SEC game to the schedule. Unless everybody else, all the other leagues are up in the ante too. And I know that, there's been stuff like that taking place, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I just wouldn't put ourselves behind the 8 ball if other people aren't as well, knowing that we're already like going into it, having to literally play against some of the best of the best. All right. Since we only got a couple minutes, we combine breaks right here, Chase. Let's we got to get out of here in about a minute or two. So let's do this. The other news that I didn't really get to, which is not really long and lengthy, but I'm going to pull it up real quick. Ryan Williams, our star wide receiver, was announced as being a cover athlete for the new upcoming 2026 college football video game that's about to come out here in just about a month or two. So let's go ahead. I got the ad that he dropped to announce that. So let's go ahead and check that out and see Ryan Williams as the star athlete of college football 26.
Being on the cover, man, you can't even put it into words. I'm playing with the Alabama Crimson Tide all day, baby. You already know. Growing up, playing all the NCAAs. In real life, I'm doing everything. I'm doing my pull. That was better. Ah! I'm in the game.
So he's in the game and he's on the cover. So that's dope. Shout out to Ryan Williams, man. I don't know how many of you guys play video games, but last year's was good. It was nice to see it come back, and obviously it's making another return. But you see right there, 2 dogs on the cover. So shout out to Ryan Williams. Again, prime example. That's real NIL. He's probably getting paid a lot of money to do that. Plus, I'll be honest with you, Chase, you wouldn't have to pay me a whole hell of a lot of money if you wanted me to be on the cover. I think I would just like, hell yeah, I'll be on the cover of that. I mean, that's forever, right? That's dope. Anyway, all right, we got to get out of here. Got T-Town Sports Daily coming up next. Appreciate everybody tuning in on the app, on the radio, on YouTube. Shout out to everybody again. If you guys haven't already, check us out on YouTube. Drop us a like, subscribe. Again, we are streaming live every day that we do the show, Monday through Friday, 11 to 1, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC as well. Again, we are presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport Experts. T-Town Sports Daily coming up. We'll see you guys tomorrow.